Looks like everything is running just fine. Let's make sure that this is working, and it appears to be, at least as far as I can tell. Yeah. Okay, so this is a game called Frostpunk that I stumbled across not too long ago. And it's actually surprisingly interesting and extremely fun. Now, the main reason why I'm doing this live stream is because, one, I've been live streamed before, and I figured if I'm going to test something out, it might as well be something that's, you know, a little bit on the obscure side. And two, Frostpunk 2 was recently announced, so kind of excited. So I figured I'd show off the original version. I have played this a handful of times, and I figured out that essentially what you want to do is you want to survive the game. You have 40 days that you have to get through, including the big end, which is like the big frost, and you basically need to prepare for that, all while not getting yourself kicked out as being the captain or leader.
Still cool world.
So let's get to this really depressing intro. It's kind of a depressing game overall, actually.
Stripped pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity.
It's so dark. Apocalyptic London is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Even if it is a snow apocalypse. Alright, I guess this isn't London, it's just some part of England.
We bid farewell to plenty. And for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step, we knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
That's so cool. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So, yeah, basically the storyline is that apparently there's some type of apocalyptic winter that occurred clearly in England, possibly the entire world. And a bunch of people ran away, and they are trying to make a new home. So, we're going to go ahead and run through a couple of the basic early game gameplays. I'll be honest, a lot of the mid to late game gameplay is pretty irrelevant as long as you meet the necessary goals and you know what you're anticipating. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to begin with, we have a ton of resources scattered all over the place. Well, not all over the place, just in a couple of designated areas. As you can see, there's some coal, some metal piles. These are wooden crates. I know they don't look like much. And then right here in the center, you have your generator. This is the number one thing that you need to focus on, because if this thing goes out, especially in the colder days, your people die. You're fine at the very beginning, but that's pretty much it. So what we have is pause. Let's go ahead and assign the roles to our people. Now, as you can see, you have 50 workers and 15 engineers. Engineers and workers can do work at most of the same stations, with the exception of there's a handful of jobs that can only be done by engineers, such as medical staff, research, things like that. Whereas workers, they're not exclusive to anything, or they don't have any exclusive tasks with the exception of being hunters. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have them start out. I'm gonna do something a little different than how I usually do. I'm actually gonna go ahead and send 10 people to one coal pile and 15 to the next. Then I'm going to go ahead and put as many as I can onto wood piles, and we're going to leave a total of 10 engineers open. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to build 2 workshops. I personally like putting them next to each other, but there's no reason in particular for you to do that. So with that done, let's just go ahead and rush through it. I typically use the 3rd speed. So because we have some loose hands, these guys are actually building like immediately, like right away. During the daytime, normally this, if you have people working, this is not done. So first, let's talk about the workshop, and we can get back to what I was saying. So workshop is where you go to research technologies and stuff like that. In this instance, the very first thing we're going to do is faster gathering, because it helps us get resources a lot faster. Fairly obvious. Alright, so we're going to get that started. Now, the reason why we have 2 workshops is because if you have 2 workshops, and they are both fully staffed, and for some reason I cannot... Here we go. And they're both fully staffed, and the research goes by a lot faster. Every once in a while you get these notes pop up. Most of the time they're regarding something actually useful, but at the end of the game it's just a bunch of random hoopla. In this instance, it is actually reminding us that we need to go ahead and pick a law. Alright, so there are a lot of different options to choose when it comes to the laws that go to your land. In the beginning, the 2 options that you want to focus on are either choosing between child labor and child shelters, or emergency shifts. In this instance, I'm going with child shelters. I've never not done child shelters with the exception of a single time, and honestly, the discontent that people get from having child labor just isn't worth it. So just do shelters. You can make them work as engineering apprentices later anyway. So we're going to go ahead and sign that into law. As you can see, this is our hope and discontent meter. If this goes all the way to 0 or this goes all the way to 100, metaphorically speaking, I don't know if that's the actual numerical value, then you will get kicked out of the town unless, you know, you can salvage a little bit of your reputation there towards the end. Anyway, so back to what I was saying about building. If you have some available people, then during the work time, so this is reminding us when you go help the guys at the convoy, during the work time, the people will build, but if you don't have any available people, nothing will get built during the work time. Now, speaking of building, there's a handful of things that you always start off with. Now, you'll notice that we have this little arrow right here, and it says 80. This is specifically referring to the number of people that are homeless right now. And you definitely don't want that, because 1, homeless people die, and 2, homeless people get pissed off. So, right now we currently have 108 wood, so we're going to go ahead and build 8 tents, which will go all the way around the generator here. Alright, and we're just going to go ahead and put this back on normal play mode. Oh, and yeah. So now that we are in free time, this is where people will actually normally start building stuff. Let's see what this guy wants. Providing shelter for everyone. So if you can guarantee that you're going to make a promise happen, always do it, because it gives you a huge boost to your hope and it decreases your discontent by quite a bit. Alright, so that was a note basically telling us, hey, it's good that we got the generator running, now we need food. We have food rations up here, or sorry, raw food up here, and then we have food rations over here. Currently, we don't have the ability to cook anything because we have been entirely focused on just getting ourselves ready to go. But unfortunately, first day everyone's just gonna have to start starving. But we can go ahead and move on from there as we go. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Get all of our houses built. Little tents. And check that out. Shelter fulfilled promise. We got an increase in hope. Even though tents aren't exactly the most positive thing. And unfortunately, people are getting sick already. There's always something. There's so many different factors you have to consider when you're playing this game. And it seems like you cannot manage all of them at once. At least not until way into the late game. But the main thing is to stay focused and try to get everything that you can and do things as close to as proper in order as possible. So we're moving into our second day. Everyone's going to talk a little bit about how they're vibing. And everyone else is just going to go ahead and get straight to work. Alright, we can do new laws, new research. Let's start with the research, because honestly, staying on top of your research, especially in the early game, is extremely important. So we're going to go ahead and build the beacon next. The beacon is how we're going to be able to go explore different territories where we can get extra resources and, more importantly, more people. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that next. Now, you can opt into doing Steam Hub second, but it's not that beneficial to do so. Alright, so with that taken care of, we can go ahead and run back into the laws, and with the laws, we're going to go ahead and put in engineering apprentices. This way we can speed up all of our research, and our kids are officially doing something useful. Speaking of kids, because we said that we were going to make a child shelter, we have to make a child shelter. Now, it looks like I forgot to get anybody gather metals, so what we're going to do is remove all the workers from wood stack, and we're going to go ahead and move them over to a metal stack, give it a little bit of time, and we will have metal. And then we can go ahead and build that child shelter, and everyone can chill out. But we're also going to need metal for other reasons too. Cool, beacon has been researched, so let's start with making this child shelter, because we did make that promise. Let's just put it right there, I guess. And then we will go ahead and we can't build the beacon. That's okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that we need to research. So I would suggest Steam Hubs as your next thing. And let's speed through this real quick. See what I was talking about though? Like there was no one available. Oh, I guess there's someone available. Oh, free time just started. Alright, so yeah, let's speed through this. Hope rises because we fulfilled another promise. Now, one thing I want to talk about is these meters right here. If it's in the red or the orange, you're good, but as soon as it gets below red or orange, you need to start figuring out a way to heat it up. At the moment, we're only at negative 20 degrees Celsius, so for the most part, everything would stay warm even if the generator was off. Okay, maybe not necessarily that the generator was off, but like, yeah. So yeah, you can see that all of these are almost all of these are currently in red with the exception of the stockpiles, but the stockpiles do not require temperature regulation. So, let's go ahead and speed through this real quick. Apparently I pressed a 2 out of 3. We have 4 sick people, that's not good. Thankfully none of them are very ill. But still. And we are back to gathering resources. Now, it's important to understand that as time goes on, some of these piles will start to disappear, and that's when you need to make sure that you're staying on top of your resource management, that way you're constantly getting stuff. For example, I was not paying attention, and so I had 15 people who were not providing anything to my society, and now, well, they are. Alright.
Get back to work.
Most of the time you get a notification that tells you whenever something has been depleted. Okay, so now that that's done, it's really anybody's guess, but the big thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that before all of your external resources run out, the stuff that you start out with, you need to have a source for coal, a source for wood, and a source for metal, all researched and ready and built before you end up screwed. Now, there are a lot of players who will say don't bother with the sawmill. I disagree. So I'm going to go ahead and research the sawmill first because knowing me, I'll run out of wood first. Alright, let's go ahead and pump through this, and we are actually ready to go ahead and build the beacon. Now, a beacon is another thing that does not require any form of temperature regulation. That's not to say that you can't put a steam hub near it, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's just not necessary. But it is necessary to have this beacon as soon as possible. Alright, check that out. Look, steel wreckage depleted, coal pile depleted, wood depleted, nobody's doing anything. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. We're going to go ahead and get some more wood over here, and we're going to get some more... We probably still need more metal, so we'll go ahead and get some more metal over here. Now for the coal. It looks like we actually have quite a bit of coal at the moment, so it's not as necessary to put as many people, so we're going to go ahead and only do 5. And the reason why we're only doing 5 workers is because here in a minute, when that beacon is done, we're going to need to send out scouts. You have to see this is just a random note of things, so it doesn't really help me at all. It does tell me that things are going to start improving. Perfect. Okay, sawmill is research, so let's go ahead and look at the next thing of research. And let's see. Oh, that's right, we gotta get on food ASAP. Heaters probably isn't a bad idea, but since nothing's urgent at the moment, let's go ahead and run straight into making sure that we have our resources secure. Let's hurry up that beacon. And now the beacon's built, we get this little animation of a balloon popping up. Lots going on. Okay, so now that we have got that started, the first thing that we want to do is first we need to make scouts. So you go ahead and make scouts, you have 40 wood available and 5 dudes. Alright, we're going to go ahead and send straight to the Lost Expedition because that's going to be the first way that we get extra people. Extra people means more efficiency. And we're going to need that here in a second because the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and set up the next section for our civilization. I like to measure things up by figuring exactly where they are. Oh yeah, I got to discuss this. So you need to build streets in order for things to get accessed. Because apparently people can only trudge through the snow when they're running out to random resources or something. I don't know. I didn't design this game. It's still a fun game though. Alright, so once the street is at the very least established, you can go ahead and put down your steam hub. Now this creates a new area of warmth that is apparently centered around this, the generator. Yeah. So now we know that that's going to get built. We need to go ahead and make a cookhouse so that way people can cook food. That's right, we are doing searches and stuff. And then, because we only have so much raw food and that's not going to last us a super long time, it is definitely a good idea to go ahead and build a hunter side. So we are going to go ahead and... I've never done that before. I didn't know you could do this. Well, the things you learn. Alright, cool. Well, that's useful. But what I meant to do is speed this up. Alright, cool. Now, because no one's working, it doesn't really matter that we don't have anybody manning this at the moment. But we probably should figure out who's going to. So, what are we not in a dire need of? We do have quite a bit of coal at the moment, so we could probably just drop one of our coal piles. Let's go with the one that's not about to deplete. Yeah. And we'll save those engineers for... Oh, you know what? We need a medical post. So, let's go ahead and do that real quick. And we don't have the stuff for it, so never mind. Looks like we can go ahead and introduce a new law. Let's jump straight into that. We'll go ahead and do an emergency shift. Now, whenever you institute law of emergency shift, people are going to get mad. So typically you want to do this when you're not already, you know, inflaming the heck out of your civilians. In the meantime, though, we still need metal. I don't know, it's really hard to figure out exactly what I want to put in the hunter side. I guess doesn't really matter that much at the moment, but it is going to for sure here shortly. Alright, so right here you can see the progress of our scout. It's about to stop, and yep, So explore, and I mean, you can just send them to the city, but there's a chance that some of them will die, so I always escort them to the city. However, whenever you send your scouts out and they find a place that just has resources, don't bother sending them to the city. At least not immediately. Go gather some more stuff. You'll see what I mean later. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and send him home, so he'll be back probably by mid-afternoon. And then we can go ahead and set up the hunter's hut and gather some more stuff and, you know, just generally make things a little bit more efficient. So yeah. We are going to have to build more shelters though. Alright, so let's go ahead and speed this up. And things just decreased in temperature. Alright, so when they have a little snowflake above it, that means that the people who are working in these areas are at high risk of excessive damage, but getting sick. But unfortunately, there's not really anything we can do about it at the moment, so that's just a risk that we're going to have to take. And with any luck, by the end of this day, we will... Okay, check this out. So we got 4 kids, 22 workers, and 9 new engineers. Perfect. And of course, the first time we bring people in, we gotta have like this little animation where you can see a bunch of frozen people marching over to... I don't know how the heck they got down there, but you know, whatever. Alright, so immediately whenever a scout gets done with the mission, send them back out. In the beginning of the game, it's always your best idea to just go ahead and send them straight to the sturdy shelter, because the sooner that you get to Winterhome, the sooner you can deal with that whole mess. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. For now, let's go ahead and assign our workers. So this is the one job that only workers can do, which, you know, is get food. But that's perfectly fine, honestly. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit, and then I think, yeah, we need to build a sawmill real quick, because it takes less workers. What was that about? Build a sawmill. Alright, so we want to cover as many trees as possible, especially since some of them are going to get destroyed, both when we construct it and when we connect our road to it. Like this, go like that. Perfect. And then as soon as they are done building that, we'll go ahead and assign some people to it. And then as far as everything else goes... Alright, cool Thumper research is finished. We're not going to build one just yet, but what we are going to do is do hunter's gear, so we can go ahead and get more food per trip. So we're going to speed this up real quick. Yeah, of course, people are dealing with frostbite. We are going to probably have to go ahead and start going down our medical routes. Oh, I can't do a lot at the moment. So yeah, nothing can be done about it at the moment. Let's get this stuff taken care of. Alright, one of our coal piles is depleted. We have quite a bit of coal at the moment, so I'm not super worried about that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to shift all except for 10 workers over to the split pile, and then however many engineers is necessary to fill it up, which is not a lot. We have a lot of sick people at the moment, so we need to go ahead and open up a medical post before this gets out of hand, which it has in the past. Now that this is open, we can go ahead and staff it with 10 workers. Hunter's gear is researched. What do we want to do next? Let's do heaters, because we're going to start having a bunch of people who are far away from the steam vents. Alright. Why do we have a resource shortage? I'm not super worried about that, honestly. We're just going to go jump straight into radical treatment. As you can see, this causes both hope to go up as well as discontent, and sometimes that's just one of those things that happens. And, oh shoot. We did not get enough wood. Alright, so this unfortunately pisses people off, but we're going to have to do it. So that facility is now going to be running 24/7, and this facility is going to help take care of some of our sick people. and we're just gonna have to build tents as it becomes possible. You always want to build your tents right in the dead center of where people can actually get to them. Let's go ahead and build up here, that way we have an easier road of access without having to waste as much wood. So, alright, we got enough stuff for, yeah, another tent. Ooh, I wish I thought this was a little bit better. So my discontent is really high at the moment, and that's not good. Alright, we can build 2 more tents now. It's right on the cusp, but that'll work. Alright. And it looks like we have enough food rations to feed the hungry. So all of this red is going down. That's always, of course, extremely positive. Alright, scouts have showed up to the sturdy shelter. We're going to go ahead and have them just grab stuff, because that's literally all they can do. Then we're going to go to the steel bridge, which is a real fun one. It's actually really helpful for us, though, too, especially in the long run. Alright, so it appears that our hunter's hut was successful, and we are continuing to stockpile rations. So this is actually going extremely well overall, but we still need to make sure that we stay on top of our resource management. At the moment, I don't think we're netting any coal. Yeah, we're not. So we need to go ahead and have some more people go get coal, even though it's going to suck over there for them. And then, I mean, yeah, for the most part, it's just a work day as usual. We just gotta empty out all the base resources and just be ready to go by the time it's time to be self-sustainable. Alright, so the heaters have been researched. Now, when you're nowhere near a steam thingy, it's really important to have a heater on to at least decrease the chance that someone's gonna die. As you can see, this didn't really improve it very much, and it's not ever going to. When we get our automaton, which you'll see a little bit later in the game, I will probably have him work it, because you don't necessarily need a heater for that. You only need a heater to, take care of humans. We've taken care of most of the research, all of the research at square one, and normally it's not necessary to do this. It all depends on what pace that you play at, but since we have, the only other thing to research now is drawing boards 1, which allows us to get the next level of technology. You can push all the way to drawing boards 4 ASAP if you want to, but just keep in mind that resources start becoming more and more sparse. Resource requirements start becoming more and more expensive as the game progresses. Alright, so we have 15 people who are not working. Alright, check it out. We get an automaton. We're just going to send it straight to the city and have our scouts move onward to... Let's go to the large convoy, because I don't really want to rush the winter home disaster. And you'll see what I mean by that a little bit later. But by then I should hopefully have a second set of scouts, and I can go ahead and handle that a little bit more. Alright, so we don't have any dead people, so we don't need to worry about cemeteries or corpse disposal. Our sick problem isn't a huge issue yet, so we don't need to go that direction. So we're going to go ahead with extended shifts, since people are already mad at me. Now, you don't necessarily need to use it, but it is a good way to make sure that if you're short on resources, you can temporarily boost production. Not by a lot, but, it's something. Alright, so right now we have 192 wood, 60 metal. Let's see what we need to help improve our situation. We don't have a lot of hungry people right now, but we are dealing with a lot of sick people. And we now have amputees, apparently. Nothing we can do about it at the moment, but, we'll get there. So, I'm going to say, let's open up another medical post, especially since here soon we're going to have some more people. And then, let's also do a second hunter's hut. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start looking at our next level of expansion. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's see, the steam hub's right there, so let's go ahead and extend this road out a bit to about here. And we'll say about, Here. Here seems fine. Alright. Tech. Steam Hub. Oof. I want to have a little bit of overlap. Not a lot, but a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and just take the street 1 peg in. Drop the Steam Hub. And yeah, that's about it. Well, let's go ahead and speed through this. Okay, so these are unstaffed at the moment, but as soon as we get done gathering resources, which probably won't take super long at this point, we will fill them up with everything that we can. Let's engineer over here real quick. Oof, a lot of sick people, unfortunately. And, alright, things are thawing out, which means we're going to decrease the amount of people that are sick. Discontent will go down naturally. And... or not the number of people that are sick, the number of people who get sick. Alright, drawing boards have successfully been researched. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have next. We don't want to hit the generator just yet. We will get there, but not at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do... oh, I haven't done steel extinguisher. I'll do that. I want to do a medical post upgrade, though. Well, no. Let's not skirt away from the possibility of disaster. Alright, explore, escort the survivors to the city. That's a lot of engineers and workers, so that's going to be really helpful, especially since here soon that automaton is going to come over and take over the steel, or one of the metalworks, the woodworks, my bad. Okay. So, in 18 hours, we're going to have some more people here, and, let's see, 26 plus... I can't remember how many. Yeah, always continue the route of amputation. We can fix the amputees later. Hopefully there won't be a lot to fix, but we can do it. Alright, so, oh yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start setting up my next little... village, so I think it's easier. I'll just build alongside this. I'll just start with those 2 houses. Cool. Steelworks has been researched. Let's go ahead and get that built real quick. There's only a couple of spots for steelworks. It's literally these 2 over here. So typically, if you can, you might as well just build both of them and make sure that you have your road linked. There's also a spot for your wall drill, which will get you more wood later on. So I kind of like to connect the road that direction and then just send it straight down to our civilization. Oops. Okay. And then once that's built, we can go ahead and start using these as soon as we need them, which probably isn't going to be for a minute, but you might as well just get ahead of the game. Why do I have 14 people working on that? Eh, it doesn't matter. Speaking of resources, we might as well go ahead and get this coal thumper going too. This is obviously, essentially, just how you get coal later on in the game. So we're just going to go ahead and put this right, well, let's see what it's going to take to fill that spot. I'm thinking probably another hunter side. Yeah, that's about the right size. And then we can go ahead and put the coal thumper next to it. As you can see, even though it's probably a good idea to use city planning in this game, I don't. Oh. I just kind of jam things wherever they fit. Okay, apparently I'm not doing research at the moment, so let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, Steelworks is done, so let's go ahead and start with the medical post upgrade so we can get more people unsickified. And since it looks like we have an excess of resources, we'll probably do bunkhouses next, because these things are extremely expensive. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and do a care house. And so we're going to go ahead and build said care house right here. A little bit out of the way, but it's whatever. If these are being built at the moment, then that means I have, yep, I got 3 workers. Max. There's not really any urgency for that. I'm not going to address this right now. Unfortunately, whenever you say that, it just pisses them off. But if I can't make promises, then they're just going to get pissed off anyway. Okay, check that out. We got all kinds of stuff available now. Alright, so we have 6 people being treated at the moment. We have our steelworks available, we have a huge chunk of our city all set up, and our village looks like Mickey Mouse. Alright, so let's go ahead and speed through this real quick. We've got 5 gravely ill people. I'm looking forward to here in another hour. Alright, cool. Now we have a bunch of people and a bunch of stuff. Let's go hard mode for a second. So we're going to go on pause so we can go ahead and start doing some resource management. First, we need more doctors. Second, we need more people getting food. And that's that. I'm just kidding. We're going to go into 3 people. See, with this thing, you only need like 2 or 3 people actually making the coal, and then you need everyone else gathering it. But we'll have more people available to gather as soon as these spots over here are completely empty. Oof, that made gravely ill. That's going to be a real problem. And we have an excessive amount of wood available at the moment because of the fact that our scout just brought some back. So we need to go ahead. What's it going to need to build one house? So we're going to build a house. Right next to the care home. And we need to send our scout back out, of course. So we're going to send straight to the weather station. And that's it for now. Unfortunately, it looks like our team is wearing a little bit thin, but with any luck, that won't be a problem for too much longer. So now that we have additional staffing, we can go ahead and get more people taken care of who are sick, and hopefully we can also start generating a bunch of extra food. Oh, there's a disconnect here. Hello. When it flashes yellow like that, it means that for some reason your road isn't connected to this road right here isn't connected to like the main road. Okay, so steel wreckage is depleted. Since that's done, we can go ahead and max this out. And what else can we do? Well, for one thing, we need more research. Let's do bunkhouses because we have the excessive resources necessary to cover that. We'll send some more people over here. We'll send a couple of engineers over here, and then we'll just have a couple of people. Well, let's come over here. Let's stock up on some coal. Nice. And then it's not a lot to do at this point. So just go ahead and speed things up a little bit. And we have our automaton. So the automatons can basically work 24/7, but they're at a lower rate of efficiency, at least until you upgrade them. They're not easily acquired. They require steam cores, which is a whole other resource that we'll have to cover later as they become necessary. But for now, we're just going to use this one in particular to go make metal, or to go gather metal. Yep. Yeah, this is where I was going to send everyone else. I don't know how desperate we are for metal, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat on, and as soon as I get started, we should be good. The automaton should be working on it just basically immediately. Now, the next thing we need to worry about is looks like coal, because even though we do have a coal pile going here, it's not going to be good enough. But we do have alternative methods. Look at that thing. Okay. Just got a lot of sick people. I always struggle with sick people. It's like the biggest issue I have in this game. Or that I have in playing this game. How far are we on those bunkhouses? Because I'm still using up a bunch of that excess of wood that we have. So as you can see, it's not work, or there's no work time at the moment. It's still free time, but like, Someone's dead. That's right. The amputee always kills himself. Yeah. Now, as soon as you have dead people, you need to form a corpse disposal. Otherwise, the rotting corpse will end up causing a bunch of people to get sick. You can do a cemetery, which will make people feel a little bit better about themselves. But it's way more efficient to have a corpse disposal because you can utilize the corpses later on for both medical purposes. And if you decide to go this route, you can also use them in the little planting houses. The important thing to understand, though, is this needs to be in an area that is guaranteed to be cold. So I like to put mine just kind of way away from like everything else. Because if this gets hot, then the corpses start to rot. It was unintentional rhyme, but it was really funny. Man, not a whole lot of micromanaging to do at the moment, at least until we get to the bunkhouses. Okay, for some reason we're missing a person over here. We're not getting a lot of food. Cool, something is established. And bunkhouses have been researched. Alright, so first, let's go ahead and set up our next thing of research. This is what I was talking about. You can use hothouses for food as well, but they take steam cores, and that's not something I'm willing to waste my stuff on. Let's go ahead and do a second thing of scouts. I think... Nah, let's do coal mining. Coal mining is pretty important. Especially since we're almost out of our secondary resource options. And we're missing a person over here, so let's go ahead and put an additional on there. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Bunkhouses. So, bunkhouses is what you upgrade your tents from, and you can later upgrade them to like houses. But for now, we're just going to start with the bunkhouses. I don't know if this actually makes any sense, but I personally like to do the ones that are further away from the generator first, because I don't know, I feel like the cold hits them harder. I'm not positive that that's the case. I've looked and it doesn't seem to be, but whatever. But upgrading a tent, as you can see, costs 12 wood and 10 steel, and when you have a ton of tents, you're gonna want to have a bunch of extra resources. It's also worth noting that until they're built, the people who are inhabiting them suddenly become homeless. So you don't want to do all at once, especially given the fact that you have only a limited amount of time to get a certain number of them done. So for now, we're just gonna go ahead and do most of them. It doesn't matter if they're homeless during work time because they're supposed to be working. But with any luck, this will get done fairly quick. So we'll go ahead and do 3. Just keep gathering resources. Uh-oh. Oh, cool. It's another thing from the care house. Alright. We have 15 people being cared for, too, and 36 out of 6, so that's rough. Okay, coal mining has been researched. While we have the stuff for it, let's go ahead and do the coal mine. So there's 3 spots for coal mines. I'm just going to go ahead and put the first one right here. And then I will use the road that is, well, no, that's right through our resources. I don't want to do that just yet. Just bring this straight up. And this is just telling you that you used up a steam core. You only have so many steam cores. There is a way to get a bunch of steam cores later on, but we'll talk about that later. Speaking of which, though, regarding that, we should probably do... Hold up. Yeah, okay, more scouts.
Night is coming.
Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, a bunch of houses are getting built. Fudge. Okay. So now I have to open up the post. With any luck, this will actually be helpful. Probably shouldn't have stalled as long as I did. But first, we need to get as many people as not homeless as possible by the time everyone's ready to go to bed. So we can speed up our sick recovery.
New law in the city.
So fulfill a healthcare promise, hopefully they'll help take care of people, and then we only have one dead dude, but hopefully his organs will help heal faster or something. I don't know. All I know is every single time that someone gets sick, you have less people available to help fix your problems. That sounds worse than I meant for it to sound, but I mean, I'm not really meant to have empathy here. Okay, I really want to hold off on going to Winterhome, but I really don't have a choice at this point. Okay. Unfortunately, I always say do what I have to do. Alright.
Work time. Get moving.
Okay, so everyone's getting back to work. It looks like we're starting to have a worker shortage. It does look like, though, that some people are getting better, so we can go ahead and start adding more people to the work. Now, the steel was important, but it's no longer so important that I need to use my automaton for that. And instead, we're going to go ahead and shift them over here to coal. And I'm not even going to bother getting the steelworks up and running at the moment. We'll just leave it alone for now. We can get more people for it later. We're going to go ahead and max this out because we definitely need to be making some steel. And we're going to bump up the coal production over here. But round the clock coal production helps mitigate the loss that we get from running the generators 24/7. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Alright, more scouts have been researched, so this is actually fairly important. So let's go ahead and drop a couple of these guys, go over here, make the second set of scouts. You can do 3, but I really find it pointless to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and send these guys over to the observatory, and yeah, we'll just keep going over there. Do we have any extra people at all? No, we do not. At least not at the moment. We probably will here soon. 6 minutes until they, or 6 hours until they get to Winterhome. I'm not looking forward to that. It's always a mess. I swear. Okay. None of the rest of this is necessary at the moment, so we're gonna go ahead and move up to our second thing of drafting. Because then we can start getting some of the really good stuff that's really helpful, particularly the factory, so we can go ahead and get the amputees back to work. And the hunter's hut so we can get more food, which is, again, going to be extremely relevant here soon. Alright, coal pile is depleted, so we're going to go ahead and put this guy back over here. Max out the workers over here. I'm going to just go ahead and put our engineers over here. We'll just make tons and tons and tons of coal. With that, though, we also need to start building resource departments. So, go over to resources. You want to use resource departments, not gathering posts. Don't confuse the two. Resource departments, this is how you extend your access to all of your other stuff. I like to just jam them over here in between the steel mines and what will be a wall drill. So I think the 3 big ones are going to be food and coal. Explore, and now we're going to make everyone depressed. So it doesn't matter how high your hope or discontent is, or how low your discontent is, you're going to get this scenario. Which is everyone's freaking out because Winterhome, which is supposed to be this big solstice, or solace, the safe haven, fell, and so everyone's all like, now we're gonna die out here, we should go back to London. And so you got 3 problems that pop up. 2 problems that pop up. One, you have a group of people called the Londoners who are gonna come around and basically try telling everyone, screw this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing, we need to go back to London and survive there, because apparently watching the entire world become a frozen wasteland is not discouragement enough on its own. Second is now you have to choose between order and discipline or faith and spirituality, as long as they all have some type of purpose. Faith and spirituality is obviously religion, order and discipline is authoritarianism. Now, this is where the huge cusp of the game comes through. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter as much that you win the game. It's, in my opinion, trying to win the game without going overboard. And you can go overboard in both. If you go towards the authoritarian route, where you're basically focusing entirely on governance, you can basically build like insane propaganda centers and just go to the extreme to where you obey or you die or get thrown in prison and stuff like that. And I have issues with that. On the faith side, you can also go to the extreme of shutting up anybody who goes against the religion to the point of like excommunication and other stuff. Regardless of what you choose, because it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, there are different paths to take. Regardless of what you choose, what you want to do is utilize it only for its essentials. Don't go to the extreme, because otherwise you start looking pretty poor at the end. It does make the game easier, as extremism tends to do when you're trying to control a population. But personally, it's just not worth it to me. That said, I'm going with order and discipline. I always do. So now we have to make the neighborhood watch. You have to build watchtowers, and they have fairly minimal use, but they are helpful. We are going to go ahead and what you want to do is you want to try to put the watchtowers as close to as many houses as possible. Now, as you can see, when I'm like mapping out exactly where I want to put it, it actually lights up a bunch of the houses. But I don't really have any great options. This is okay right here, outside of the fact that now I'm going to have to build another thing. But at least I'm getting something. However, we're currently facing a wood shortage, so yeah, that's rough, buddy. Shoot. That's a bit of a problem, but whatever. We will deal with that as it comes along. Looks like we're gonna have to get that. Here we go, the Londoners. Yep. So you want to try to drop discontent, raise hope, and that'll hopefully get rid of some of, if not all of the Londoners. Allegedly, you can get rid of all of the Londoners, but I don't know that that's the case. So I'm gonna go ahead and send these guys to the snow cliffs. Sorry about that, I had to respond to a text message. Okay. I'm noticing we actually have pretty... Oh, that's right. Okay. So, as important as coal is, I'm going to try to focus more on trying to get some more wood coming in, because we are extremely short on it, but then we're also going to go ahead and send everybody else over to the coal pile, because... Also important. Alright. Let's go ahead and speed up the development of these resource departments. For one of them, I'm going to choose coal. For the other one, I'm going to choose... I'm going to say food rations. Alright, this guy is waiting. He found some survivors. Let's go ahead and escort these survivors to the city. And now we move on to our next stage of expansion. Cool. So, we're going to need people anyway. Let's go ahead and have a place for them to live. Now this is where we can actually start making an effective use of the watchtowers. Yeah, look at this negative Nancy over here. Oof, it's getting cold. Alright, let's take a look at the temperatures. The houses are fine. This is fine. Alright, again, this is the point in the game where it doesn't ease up on the cold either, so we're gonna have to start... Let's get on a automaton, so we're not gonna worry about that. That we do need to worry about. Fudge. Okay, take a look and see how much longer it's going to take for this to get done. Yeah, luckily soon. Explore, take resources. Let's head over to the Shrouded Cave and get some more people. We'll have more people here in a minute anyway, but let's continue to get more people. So, it's going to be a little precarious to get everything taken care of all at once. Okay, drafting machines are done. Now that that's taken care of, let's go ahead and get our next source of wood. Wall drills, because we're going to need to be building a lot here soon, and I mean a lot. Wood or the food going. Cool. Alright, so we actually have a ton of engineers this time. Not that that really helps us, but that's a thing. Alright, so first of all, we're pretty homeless. We've got a lot of homeless people. We're just going to have engineers do as much as they can. We need extra medical facilities, actually, so let's go ahead and build at least one more medical post. That'll help a little bit. It's a good thing I got to those bunkhouses when I did, because now I'm going to be stuck with tents. Alright, I still have a bunch of tents that I got to worry about. Okay, you need to go to the American camp. Apparently there were a bunch of Americans chilling out in London, literally, when this whole apocalypse kicked off. Which is, you know, it's an amusing little detail. Cool. Wall drill is researched. Let's build that ASAP because we're gonna need it. Okay, put the wall drill right here, as I previously mentioned. We only have 9 units of wood left. We'll just go ahead and extend this over. And we'll get some people up there ASAP, which should help us ramp up production. And this is going to have to be an emergency shift with as many extra people as we can possibly muster. Oops. Probably the same over there too, because yeah, we need to be able to home people. And while we can use tents, that's not going to fly for very long. I just opened a new medical post too. Now I have to open another one. Fudge. Whatever. And someone died. Oh, yeah, because of overworking. That always happens. One of the first few times that you do an overwork, that'll happen. Just one of those things, you know? But, I mean, it's essentially that or everyone freezes to death. Or some people freeze to death, I should say. Hold on, let me put my watchtower down real quick. Need to have 2 of these ready to go here fairly soon. I'll put out some tents. Alright, need 2 more. Alright. So once that's taken care of, let's see. We need at least 1 person in this watchtower. One person in this watchtower. That takes care of that. That helps build up our hope. Doesn't do anything for our discontents though. These are just kids. No, I can't leave them there. That would be immoral. Because that's relevant when you're playing a video game. We need some additional research going on. Let's see. What would be really helpful right now? Factory is really good. Improved heaters. We want to decrease the number of people that we have that are sick. Gain more followers. At least it looks like we're actually decreasing the number of people that are sick on top of everything else. Okay. can do another blah. Let's do a morning gathering. Let's help raise hope. And it'll happen literally every day too. So that's fairly helpful. Jeez, how long are they gonna go at this pile? It should be empty by now. Okay, so it looks like we can go ahead and start looking at building some more bunkhouses so people aren't cold. The fewer cold people we have, the better. More gravely ill people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Don't know where the engineer came from though. We don't have any extra ones. At least not at the moment. Improved heaters have been researched, so that's good. Looks like we're gonna need a heater over here. That's it as far as that goes. I think probably factory should be the next thing I'll research. There's no need to up the speed or power production yet. Oh, and actually, you know what? No, flying hunters. Actually, hunting tack. No, flying hunters. We're gonna have metal. Just wait till we get 20 metal. 7, 18, 19, 20. Alright, I need research. Flying hunters. That reminds me we are going to need to ramp up metal production here fairly soon. Probably immediately, actually. Because those flying hunters are not cheap. Explore, take the resources, there's just metal in there, run over to temporary settlements, and alright, let's get this thing rolling, shall we? It looks like for the most part everything is fairly put together. We still have a ton of sick people, and we're going to want to get that factory ASAP so we have some more workers. But we're staying on top of coal production. It's going to be food that's going to be next. Alright, so we're going to run back over to adaptation, and we are going to make a fighting arena. Because apparently, when people gather around and knock the crap out of each other, it makes them happier. Alright, let's go ahead and run a road over this direction. Get that little fighting arena over and built up real quick. That helps raise hope and decrease discontent. It's amazing what a little scrap every once in a while will do for you, huh? Okay, we're only in day 12. Goodness, we got 40 days that we have to do. Okay. Okay, looks like I was wrong about no defrosting. That's good. That'll make things a little bit easier on us, at least temporarily. Hopefully it'll decrease the amount of sick people we end up getting. And people are going to be a little less pissy. But the number one thing that we need to focus on is getting this caught up. We need to do a lot of research. Woot. Okay, cool. So we've got a bunch of extra resources available at the moment. With that, oh, I don't have so much extra resources that I need. Throw an extra engineer in there. We need to send this guy back out, though. Send him to this freshwater springs. He can go out all willy-nilly. We don't have as many workers there, but that's fine. We're actually kind of good on that. What do we need to build next? Probably continue with the bunkhouses. I mean, we're fine now, but let's keep it that way, you know? Plus, we need to use up that wood so that way we can continue to generate wood. Alright. Explore, take resources, and then we'll run over to the alley. Those guys are gonna come back with a bunch of resources too. Alright, flying hunters have been researched. Unfortunately, we can't actually use it at the moment. So instead, what we're gonna go ahead and do... you know, we have a lot of sick people. Let's do an infirmary next. Yeah, that's fine. We don't really need the cookhouse efficiency to go up, but we also have way too much. So let's go ahead and keep just pumping things out. I hate to do this, but we need to ramp up food production, so we're going to go ahead and do an emergency shift over there. Fudge. It's always sick people I struggle with. Alright, well we have 5 people available at the moment, so let's go ahead and make a medical post real quick. And then, while we're on it, let's go ahead and turn one of these into a hunter's hangar. That'll ramp up the amount of food that we get. This helps fix our healthcare issue. It looks like we are getting a lot of people who are less sick now. Oh shoot, we have homeless people. Didn't even pay attention, didn't even notice that. Well, we have a lot of wood, so we'll go ahead and build a bunch of tents. Just need 3, actually. This over here. What's this say? Send someone to go remove it, and go. Blenders gain more followers, of course. We're going to go ahead and bring these people to the city, because, yeah, that's necessary. And... Another engineer in here. Oof, things are just rough right now. But we're getting there. It looks like we're starting to have a bit of a recovery.
Get going. Time to
Okay, we got more metal, so we can go ahead and do another hunter hangar. And we've really got to get to that factory ASAP. Factory is not out of metal. We didn't have enough metal. Soon we will be out of metal. And it looks like it's going to be time for the next expansion too. So let's go ahead and start building our next area of the city. This is relatively level with where about we need to be, I think. Let's go ahead and get it from this side. That should be about enough. This metal shortage is killing me. Alright. That'll work. Cool, fewer amputations, that's good. So yeah, this is where we'll go ahead and work on our next development. We're gonna look at this from this angle. It's a little bit easier to work with. You can actually see kind of everything. Small workers over here. Oof, we are short of people. Station. That's not good. We're almost out of food too. Hopefully these hunter hangers will help a lot. Alright, time for another law. Let's do adaptation. I want a pub, but I'm not gonna do it just yet. Let's do foreman. I love foreman. They're so helpful.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
The factory has been researched. This is actually the main reason why we need to do expansion. It's factories. Take up time. Also, we're about to get a bunch of new people. And with the factory, we'll be able to fix some of the amputees. The amputees will be able to get back to work, and that should help us fix everything wrong. I want to research next. I think hunting tactics will probably be my next choice. Oh, we need an infirmary too. Let's put the infirmary right next to the factory. That's not a health hazard. We need a little more steel for that. Alright, I am actually going to go ahead and pause real quick though. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry for that brief intermission. Let's go ahead and get back to this. Okay, so where were we? Waiting for enough enough to do the research. Well, now, because we need to work. We gotta get that infirmary taken care of. so I'm gonna get another guard station. Lovely. Darn Wanderer is gonna cause problems all the time. Sorry. It's whatever though. I'll take care of it. That would be taken care of.
Time to get to work.
Alright, we got a bunch of people and a bunch of resources. That's helpful. So first of all, we need engineers in the factory. Second of all, let's start. Shoot, I need prosthetics off first. But it looks like we'll be able to do it here fairly soon. In that case, we're just going to focus on building an infirmary. There's so many homeless people we have to tend to. We need to build a new guard station too. I guess we can go ahead and put the next round of buildings over here. Let's go ahead and make sure we put this guy back out there. We'll go ahead and send him to the crash site. Crash site. We're missing an engineer over here. We need to do some research to straight for the hunting tactics. And now, let's go ahead and make use of all of our extra space. First of all, apparently we need to open a guard station, so... Oh, we don't have any guard stations. Oh, we don't have enough law for guard stations yet. Oh, shoot. So much for prosthetics. Can I wait a day and a half? Hold on. How long do I have to do this? 2 days and 16 hours. Okay, so we're going to do prosthetics first. And we are going to make... Start with 5 prosthetics. It takes 10 metal per, at least until you do the streamlining. Okay, so we need to go back to building houses for people. Tents aren't great, but they're better than nothing. 4, 5, and 6. And we can build a guard station. Watchtower. Like I said, city planning. Okay. We don't have anyone at this guard station. Let's go to the maximum over here. We need more people working over here. Now we need a foreman. We're gonna go ahead and sack some food for the foreman. With that said, we're also gonna need some more. Cool, that's helpful. I think we're gonna need another food source. Let's just try to build a hunter's hangar. I'll put it right about there. Yeah, because we're gonna need more food. Cool, hunting tactics is covered. Let's see what the next thing to research should be. But whatever it's gonna be, we don't have stuff for it at the moment. All of our doctors in there. That should help take care of our sick problem. I just opened an infirmary. Screw you guys. So demanding. It gets annoying really fast. So I'm gonna put these guys in there. Put these guys to work. And we'll go ahead and send to another thing of hunters. Get them all ready to go. So we can have more food for our peoples. How many people is this? Okay, it's only serving 10 people. Yeah, it's better than nothing. Speaking of which, we should probably just go ahead and build a new medical post real quick. Just to help with the sick problem. Look at how glowy our city has become. Maximum number of engineers available. We really need the steelworks to just go hard mode for a while. Unfortunately. Oh, we need to make sure that the heat is on too. Yeah, because at this point we really need to. Maybe that's what we'll research next. Is steam steelworks. Yeah. We're not having a wood shortage right now, so. Okay, it looks like we finally have a fairly efficient labor force. So the next thing we need to focus on is making sure that we get that watchtower law passed and making sure that we stay on top of all of the resources. It's also probably a good time to start looking towards netting extra resources. Yeah, fudge. Man, it's getting cold. Alright, take the resources from the crash sites. Could go to the fishing village, I guess. Let's go to the cave. We might find more people there. That's always helpful. I don't know why I don't have a heater on over here. It's not like it's doing anything at the moment, but still. It's important to keep those heaters on lest you piss them off. Alright.
The workship starts.
Okay, we need more prosthetics. 22 people with 8 legs. Let's go ahead and do 5 more fixes. And nothing to do at the moment, so we can just go ahead and speed through this. Next event, explore, there's survivors, let's go over to the city. And bring that to expand our city again. It's always like that, man. Steam steelworks have been researched. Let's go ahead and make them work for us. This unfortunately puts the steamworks out of commission for a little while, but you know, take the good with the bad. Yeah, stupid. Why do we have 7 homeless people? Oh, that's right. They're out of the hospital. That's been an issue. Okay, well, all we can do is another expansion, so. This we can do in between these 2 spots. That'll work. Set up a steam hut. Oh, right, yeah, that's next thing we need to do. Alright, well, it is about time to go ahead and do a generator power. Oh my goodness, why are we always in the middle? Generator power upgrade, let's go! Found some survivors. Attack the bears. And the scouts died, unfortunately. So we'll make some more scouts. And we will send these scouts to the fishing village. At least we got use out of that wood. Oh yeah, speaking of which, we will make some tents. Not many tents, but some tents. Especially since we're going to have some new people here soon. Time for the next law, and as promised, we're going to open up guard stations.
Hear me! hear me?
which I'm pretty sure also required metal to build, but, you know, we'll see what happens. Alright, so guard station, guard station, guard station. And one done. Sweet. Let's do generator efficiency upgrade as well, because it's kind of necessary. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and upgrade some houses. Oof, I've got way too many tents. How ghetto. Fantastic. Hope rises. Hopefully this will help. Everything.
Rest time. Work is done for today.
Jeez, we're not doing nearly as well as we should in the food department apparently either. Alright, well, that's an easy fix. So we can upgrade one of these to a hunter's hangar, and we can build another hunter's hangar. That should help. These guys are heading this direction too, so get that going for us. We have a lot fewer tents, so that's good. Thieves! In my good city. Oh, I never assigned anybody to this thing. That was stupid of me. Oh. Alright, I think the next thing we need to do is we need to build some more coal mines. Especially since we're the steam force for it. Londoners gain more followers, as is always the case, and apparently I need to build more houses. At the moment, tents. Send you to next. The coal mine. Cool. Alright, so we have some more survivors in the city. Which unfortunately means more homeless people, but we'll see what we can make of it. Alright, one thing's for sure.
We must work harder.
We need coal mines. We need them ASAP, because our coal pile, which is currently at 666, is depleting quickly. We also probably need to do coal-based upgrades as soon as this power generator is taken care of, which will probably help our coal shortage on its own, but still. So, let's go ahead and move towards... We're going to do this here soon. We're going to do 4. So let's go ahead and do coal mining optimization. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get both of these things fully operational. And let's get back to homes. 1 and 2, I guess. Go ahead and turn these into actual houses. Perfect. So that should help with a lot of the discontent. The big thing we need to worry about right now is feeding the hungry people, which would be a problem if they would just eat the damn food. Cool. Coal mining optimization has needs covered. Can't do steam coal mines yet, though. No need to do steam sawmills. I don't really want to do a charcoal kiln yet, if I ever decide to do one. Lighter scout sleds might be helpful, but I don't know. Food, shelter. I think we need to start looking at doing this. Yep.
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
If there's anywhere to put your upgrade attention, it's additional upgrades. Oh, no. Nope. That is always bad. Never, under any circumstances, do you want to do that. But what we can do is we can build a public house. Or a pub, as apparently normal people call them. This will make a lot of people happy, actually. Why is our homeless population still full? Oh, that's why. And we'll just dump some engineers in there. What better use for your engineers than, you know, burr. Oh, our coal situation is dire. It is not good in the slightest. Let's catch them. Stupid lumberers. There's a lot of lumberers, too. We'll kick this guy out. It's not necessarily the best choice, but it works. Good. Starting to see a decrease in Londoners. Alright, so some scouts in the fishing village. We're going to dismantle everything because there's literally no reason to do that. We'll send these guys to test the city. They have an unfortunately high probability of death. Get some workers over there. We really need metal. So we're going to sacrifice some rations to get an extra bit of metal going. Okay, purpose and adaptation. What do we need? I think... So this is what I'm talking about. The propaganda center, that's just way too much. And then there's the prison, which can lead to forceful persuasion. I wouldn't even do the prison. I would do patrol, and that's it. That'll help take care of discontent. Alright, cool. So now we're into tier 3 technology. We can go ahead and start looking at... What can we look at? We streamline prosthetics, but that has pretty limited use. Let's do steam coal mine is going to be the next upgrade we need to focus on. This will allow us to boost up at least 2 of our coal mines, one of which we can set up with the automation, and we can increase productivity in the long run. Oh, goodness.
Work day is up. Return your tools.
I don't have anyone working at the coal pile. No wonder we're so short. Risk entering the city and... Cool, we got in. This is the Dreadnought landing. We could establish an outpost there if I felt like it, but... We'll see how things go. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and take another quick break. Alright, and we are back at it. Okay. So yeah, at this point, it's all about just making sure that you stay on top of keeping everyone happy. It looks like for the most part our resources are fairly managed. We should continue helping people find work, especially since we have a bunch of extra metal right now. So let's go ahead and put in for another 10 prosthetics. And then we gotta stay on top of our research. It's gonna be a real big one. We actually need to move into a new area for food production as well. Come to think of it, we have the extra manpower for it, so why not? So let's go ahead and we're gonna work on a district just like this area that is literally just gonna be for getting food and cooking it. The extra road over here. So let's speed that up. You know, while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and just start building stuff. Let's go get this hunter's hanger, put it in place here, here. And then, hopefully by then, we'll need an additional cookhouse. So, we'll go right there. And then we can extend the road a little bit. Because, yeah, we're into day 19, which means we're halfway through the game, and we need to start, getting ready to stockpile things up. Alright, well, unfortunately, someone died. Put the sober up. And we need to find one of our guard towers. Here it is. And we don't have any rations for control. Oh, we only have 12 workers available. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we're about to have a bunch more, because I think we're having some people escorted to the city here soon. Explore, take resources, and we will run over to the ice corridor, I guess. Explore, take everything, and we'll rush back home with that. We only have 3 hours worth of coal left. Oof. Well, we're up to 4, but still. It's so precarious. Okay. Well, we need to issue a patrol because, yeah, that's going to be necessary. And we need to research something. healthcare installation for sure. We throw some engineers in there. We need to continue moving things happening. Cool. Alright. An entire group of crippled hunters. It's almost fun.
It's time for rest.
Resources, so starting tomorrow we should have significantly higher production of coral. Okay. We will get through this for sure. Fairly confident. The only thing I'm worried about is this thing shutting down. It's getting precarious, it really is. Oh, here we go, this is a hack. The engineers are there. Max this out. And then max this out. What's the issue with the road? Oh, it's not from the character. Okay, cool. So we got that figured out. And you know what? We need a few more resource depots. So let's go ahead and go back to resources, resource depots. We're gonna go ahead and do one for wood, one for metal, and maybe one for coal. So he just brought home a bunch of resources. Alright, he was supposed to. Never mind, he did not got me to see it. See, there we go. Now we got a bunch of raw food, which means we should be able to start giving a ton more rations. Book of Laws. Let's go to adaptation. How about some moonshine?
Hear me. New law in the city.
Explore, take resources, and run over to the cave hideout. Installation's covered. Okay. Let's go ahead and research houses now. Yeah. Let's research houses. Cool, got a bunch of extra resources that should help us get by. Now we're gonna send this guy back out to the Frostrpunk. Can we have made such an amateur mistake like that? Okay, so this we're gonna go ahead and increase our wood capacity. For this we're gonna go ahead and increase our metal capacity. Go to the factory, have 5 more production, we need 1 more on top of that. And it looks like our health and amputation issue is going to be covered. For this we're going to go into coal. So the next thing that we need to worry about is making sure that we ramp up coal production. And we need to start worrying about stockpiling. Because we have 13 more in-game days total before we have to have all of our stuff ready. And that's going to be a lot harder than you think it is. We're probably going to have to go to the food district. Oof. Yeah, let's reprimand the guards. You know what? We can make another steam coal mine too. Forgot about this one over here. That's the one with the automaton on it too. Speaking of automatons, we can actually start building those. We're gonna build one automaton. Explore, and we will talk to them. And looks like we're taking them home. Alright, time for potentially additional city expansion. We'll see. I know we need to ramp up food production at the very least. Possibly, we gotta do a charm camp. Oh, it looks like there's some homeless people. They say all cheerful. Okay, let's go into a bunkhouse real quick, just right here. Just chilling amongst all the other food. He's that one guy who's really into hunting so much that he has to live near where the hunters could gather. Yeah, I just thought of something. It's kind of ominous. I put my body pit over here, right where I put all my resource depots. It's kind of a little dark right there. I think it should be getting cold here soon, so let's see. Okay, I already saw myself looking at houses. Speak of the devil. Ugh. Yeah. Oof. Well, let's go ahead and make sure that these are covered. And yeah, those bunkhouses aren't going to do it anymore. A lot of these things aren't going to do it anymore. It's not good. No bueno, bro.
Let's march to work.
Alright. What do we need to focus on? I think the first thing we need to focus on is making sure these are all covered. Okay, so house redesign, that's something we need to do. Let's go ahead and make it so we can do that here fairly soon. All of this. Alright, we have new automation. That's good. Very good. So, we are going to turn automation on over here. Turn off the heater. And that will give us round-the-clock core production, which is something that we really need. You know what? Let him have off. Just let him. Let's just let him rant. Freedom of speech. Am I right? Okay, so yeah, we gotta start with these. No bueno on the tentos. Look at that. You get the immediate real estate upgrade. House redesign should cut in half how much it's going to cost to build houses. And we have people coming to the place, so we need to be ready to get them work. So let's go ahead and get in on that. We're going to build another steam hub, put it right there, and then we're going to go ahead and start building some more hunters' huts. Hunter hangars, actually. My bad. Don't want to offend the hunters. But yeah, we do need to make sure that we're getting a ton of food. And we're going to need a place for some houses. Oop. We're getting close to our cap for coal. So Alright. Make sure the houses are doing that. Okay. So the houses are the way to go at the moment. Alright, so coal, and probably some more coal over here. And on this one we need food rations. Well, we've used up a ton of our resources, and hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt too hard. Is there any laws that I'm concerned with passing at the moment? Not really. What about purpose? No. Okay. So, we are not going to worry about passing any additional laws. We are perfectly fine when it comes to our legal system, because anything else at this point is pushing into this territory of authoritarianism, and I'm just not going to do that. Ooh, look at all that food we're bringing in. We're going to have to do an additional resource department just for food.
No time to waste.
Probably not a bad idea, actually. We'll surround the wall drill with additional resource depots. Make everything all accessible in the same area. We should hurry up with this house redesign. 4 minutes it is. Beautiful. Now we can continue to utilize resources, including to build houses. We can wait a second on that. Yeah, we need to send this guy back out. You can go check out this tier frozen pond. Okay, so now that we have some more people, we can go ahead and dump them into the hunting hangars. And what we got over here? A little bit of extra space for raw food, and a lot of extra space for food rations. Okay, how close are we done to... Cool. So that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and work on our next thing of research. I'm not gonna worry about that just yet. Let's go ahead and increase the amount of food that we're gonna get. And let's start building some houses. So we have 28, we need 3 new houses. Then we can just start doing all the upgrades that we want. So we'll start with the ones that are closer to the outskirts. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Upgrade, 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 upgrade. Upgrade. That's a lot of homeless people. In retrospect. But I mean, I guess the sooner we get it all done, right? Alright. Alright, we need to build a little road back there. And just to add additional redundancy, let's make 1 more little hunter's hut. Alright, let's get all of this built.
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
Oh my goodness, I hope this gets all done in a fairly decent amount of time. Otherwise I'm gonna look really stupid. Yeah, look, a bunch of people got sick because I tried to upgrade too many homes. So this is why I said earlier you don't want to upgrade too many homes at once. Oh, look at all these sick people. Oh, they screwed up bad. I mean, I guess it's good that I have a bunch of spares, but still. But it looks like the houses are working out just fine at the moment. I guess the next thing we gotta worry about is upgrading the heater, especially since we actually have plenty of wood resources. Oh, now you want to cool down on me? That's helpful. Alright, since it's daytime and we have a bunch of free people, we can go ahead and start working on as many house upgrades as we can possibly get through today. Let's just do 5 for now. Look at this, we are stockpiling so much food right now. Oh my goodness! Okay, heating. It is time to start looking at additional generator efficiency. Because heat is actually not mandatory at this very moment. What is mandatory though is that we have more resource depots. This is the part where it just gets ridiculous. You just gotta start being as redundant as possible. You just... so much repetition. And I know that looks like a lot, but trust me, we're going to need a lot. As you can see, we're already almost maxed out on coal. We've got a ton of food rations. And we need to have a place for all of the extra stuff that we're producing. And yes, we're going to need extra stuff. You'll see what I mean here. It looks like fairly soon, actually. Alright. That's fine. So he's actually going to upgrade our automations for free, which is good because then we don't have to worry about the workshop doing it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and build some more houses.
Work day end. It's time for rest.
Okay, so we're gonna do coal, food rations, food rations, food rations, if you're wondering why I'm doing so many food rations, it's because you need 3,000 by the time the Great Cold comes through. Alright, so that is the end of going this direction. We are going to make him walk all the way over there. Because we do not need to wait. Okay. How do we have hungry people? We have 526 food rations. There's no logical reason for there to be hungry people. How much wood do they have accessible to? 861 at the moment. So we're still doing good as far as that goes. And do more food rations. $400 units of raw food. Cool. Generator efficiency has been upgraded. Let's get some more research going. Advanced heaters, because everyone is freezing their butt off right now. Also, we're going to go ahead and foreman it up since we have plenty of resources for this. See, like I said, at this point, you're going through the motions. You're just running through excess until you get to the end of the game. Oh, that's fine. We're good on coal, so we can actually shut down one of our automations. How do we still not have enough resource departments for all that? Alright, I guess we're building more resource departments now. Oh my goodness! Okay, so nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just make just about all of these for food. You know, actually, I think there's a thing I can research where I can increase the capacity of the resource departments. Pretty sure, anyway. What's up? Ugh. That's right, blenders. Okay, well, we can't stop them from leaving. We don't want to lose 60 people. We're not giving them food rations. You know, I've actually never done this one before. Maybe they'll come back. You know what? For the sake of a entertaining game, and because I'm doing a live stream, let's see what happens when we equip them for the journey. Well, apparently it makes people unhappy. Alright, so let's see how badly this impacted our workforce. Well, not that badly, actually. So, it looks like we can just go through and re-up everywhere that people ditched. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we have plenty of food rations. It's been the first time I've ever had a chance to do something like that, so I guess we'll see what happens, you know? Let's speed this up. Oh, I'm missing a couple of engineers. Man, you got traders all over the place, don't you? Alright, more food rations, additional more food rations. You know what? How about some more food rations and... I guess to stop building it. Oof, I'm missing people. Max and Max. So yeah, even with losing 61 people, it didn't even impact our workforce that much. I mean, it hurt, but like it wasn't the end of the overall development. And finally, some more food rations.
Let's pass to work.
Advanced heaters have been researched. Oh my goodness, this entire... Oh, that's right, never mind. This is, where the automation was at. I was about to say, this entire mine got ditched by the Londoners. What jerks. Okay, I don't know what to research right now. I guess infirmary checklists in case anyone gets sick again. Yeah, you can have steam core, it's fine. We're not using them right now at the moment. Right now at the moment. Welcome to the Redundant Department of Redundancy. How can I help assist you? Oh, I love that joke. Cool.
Work day end. It's time for rest.
I just realized I probably still have... Yeah, I do. We do not need to put these on extended shifts anymore. We have plenty of resources of all kinds at that. Alright, so I think we're going to go for the hard mode and just go like as far up in hope as possible this time around. And we're done with researching. Let's do the final form for drafting. Alright. We are going to go help some people out. Apparently. Alright, explore the frozen pond. Cool. Nothing interesting. So check out the damaged snow cat. And now it's time for our next round of expansion. So, with that in mind, we gotta figure out exactly where I want to expand to. I think it would probably be in our best interest to start setting up heaters near our primary work areas, with the exception of over here. Turn this back on. So we'll probably focus the most of our expansion in this area. So we'll start by doing this. Because this allows us to double down on the heat that's available to our factories. I don't know why it's saying this is red. I was just telling us it's going to heat them. So yeah, we'll start there. Even though we've already kind of had our resource department on the invade part of that area. It's fine. We actually have resources to spare at the moment, which is good. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen soon. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of make sure that we have all of our heaters on. And it looks like that's actually enough to get a lot of things to stay operational. Especially since we just researched better heaters. But we need to ditch oh, looks like it's already been ditched, so we're going to go there. Yeah, we cannot have these too cold. That one doesn't matter. That one does matter, but there's not a whole lot that can be done about it. Well, we go to heating core out here. I mean, that's going to be obsolete here soon anyway. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put a heating core element out here. How much I can do for these guys. But again, one production's going to be obsolete here soon anyway. Coal production, however, is not. And we also need some research departments for that. Resources and come home. Send this particular scout back. Here soon we're gonna have a mission where we gotta go save a bunch of other people. But we'll worry about that when it comes to it. Now let's just focus on stashing all of the food and coal that we can get.
Return your tools.
Oh yeah, that'll help. I'll have to build any more resource departments after that. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. So now that we have these areas over here open, we don't have any buildings that we need to focus on in particular, but we can start building extra houses. These are right in the area of my watchtowers. Not that it matters anymore, the Londoners are gone. I really want to see what happens. Like, I wonder if the Wanderers will actually come back or not. I've never gotten that far in the game before, or at least I've never had that situation show up before. So it looks like these guys are about to show up. I'll bring everyone in because I am kind. And also my medical staff doesn't have anything to do at the moment. And yeah, it looks like we're just gonna build a bunch of houses near a coal mine, which I'm pretty sure is some type of health code violation. But this is a video game, so who cares? I'm just gonna a little bit overboard with housing development. Alright, so I got that figured out. Looks like I got a few more people coming in too. Looks like things eased up a bit. Discontent is at 0. Hope is pretty high. We're at day 27, which means we have 6 days to be 110% ready. So yeah, there's no need to build any more resource departments. Probably should have got on top of that a lot earlier. What do we need at the moment? What will actually help us? Oh, looks like they got that started. We are going to need to upgrade our generator power. And heater efficiency. Let's start with the generator power before it gets cold again. Colder again. And speed things up.
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
Oh yeah, now we have more people, there's more resource depletion, which means we're probably going to need another cookhouse. Everyone is welcome, that's fine. We only need some more houses. Only. Let's keep building houses. We got the resources, why not? House, 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 house. Lots of vacancies. For now.
Come, lads. We must work harder.
Come lads, we must work harder. Yeah, man, these guys are probably working their butts off. I don't know how much harder they could work. We're going to need a steam hub to make things more comfortable over here. And so we can go ahead and build more houses and more hunter sites. Okay, since Scout has returned, I'm gonna let him just chill there for now. Oh, I forgot about this area over here. Let's put another cookhouse over here. And then let's just do 2 more hunter sites. That's probably gonna be more than enough. Just shut down the animation. It's fine if we're out for a day. Especially given how much extra coal we have. But it is probably not a bad idea to go ahead and consider that sucks, dude. It's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and consider our next upgrade going with coal, because one, we have the resource departments, and two, we just increase our generator power. Healthcare and house insulation, that's going to be good too. Yes. We'll do this first. We'll go back to the coal mine a little bit later. Alright. So anything else to explore at the moment?
Rest time. Work is done for the day.
No, we will need something here soonish. Okay. Nearing the end. Yep, okay, so Great Frost is coming. So now we need to actually start sending our scouts out to get the extra dudes. And it's also time to start prepping. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this house heating taken care of. It looks like we don't have any homelessness going on, so that's good. That helps a lot. We're always some extra engineers, so let's go ahead and build one infirmary. And then, can we build any medical posts? What's a medical post real quick? I'll take care of this little area.
Order, people. Let's march to work.
Alright, so I don't have to worry about people being sick for a little while. Continue automation back on as far as the coal production goes. And we need to get the extra player or extra, I don't know, terrestrial lanes or something like that. Research as soon as possible. Looks like we're fighting an uphill battle with that coal. So, yeah. As much as I would love to get that stetho lens thing at the moment, we need something else. This will probably work for now. We gotta focus on making sure we don't run out of coal.
Work day end. It's time for rest.
Hopefully it gets there before the end of before the Great Frost goes off. Pretty sure we're gonna need another district for homes, so let's go ahead and expand out this way. Bring them all to the city. What is the disconnect here? No, they're just still building it, that's all.
Come on, lads. We must work harder.
I hate when they say that. These guys have to be working their butts off. What is this guy waiting on? You know what? None of this is actually useful anymore. We are perfectly fine without exploring the rest of that. Okay, that's going to help us a lot. Time for advanced coal mines.
Work day end. It's time for rest.
Some more houses. We're getting there. I think we will make this work. That always happens in this game, regardless of how the rest of it is played out. Some dude always wants to go out and help his daughter. Which I don't blame him. I'll help my daughter too. Oh goodness.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming.
It's a colder.
Come, lads. We must work harder.
Turn up the temperature in here. Alright, so that'll help with our coal shortage. Next, gonna move over to heating. We've already maxed out the efficiency. Gotta do heater efficiency, that'll help. Oh, I still gotta do the extra point of break-in. You know, let's do that real quick. Well, it doesn't matter. Because I already know exactly what we need. Okay, we have excessive people. Okay, but for real though, it's time for us to go ahead and start building advanced coal mines. We'll start with the ones that are employing automations. We can do the others at nighttime.
Return your tools. Come, lads. We
I
must
think we're
work
pretty good
harder.
as far as like food rations go. Okay, now we can do the stair step blends or whatever. Explore. Bring these kids to our city.
Work day end. It's time for rest.
We definitely have more than enough food. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Gonna try to speed through the rest of this. Why are people stealing food? There's a ton available.
No time to wait. We've got work to do.
Yeah, it's worth the risk. Oh, we're so close to being done. This has been one hell of a long stream. Oh goodness. Now everyone's gonna panic and be like, "Sir, I can't believe it. They're coming." But if we want to make sure that our coal is good, There goes our hope. Okay, so... we have, it looks like, 4 days to be completely ready. We're good as far as food rations go. We just have a couple more things to research and we'll be set.
It's time for rest.
This will be our last chance to do that. Speed everything up. Send those guys home. Why is the hope going down? Whatever happened? Oh, there's health issues. Houses seem to be warm, so we're good there.
No time to wait. We've got work to do.
Okay, it looks like the core resources are going up again. We gotta keep these guys running fast. Generator power 3, and frankly, I'm just gonna have you guys go 24/7. Just for a little while. Cool. So they're gonna go full shift without complaining about it. Full 24/7 without complaining about it, I mean. Which is pretty helpful. Oh, cool, we have some extra steam cores.
Time for rest.
We can use that to build an extra automation. Oh. Possibly a second one. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Cool, so that's covered. Having the research. Field drive cooking done. And after that, our only focus is going to be making sure that we can run away from the cold, buddy. Making sure that we can become self-sufficient. If we do this right, at the very end of this is literally just going to be 100% self-reliance. Alright, generator safety bypass. Go ahead and do that real quick. And then after that we can focus on just upgrading our automations so we will be good to go. I don't know if we even need more houses, but frankly I don't know what else to do. Bunch of little houses. People are going to have all kinds of real estate opportunities. This one came out kind of fun. And then perfect. Fast forward. Oh wait, this guy's waiting. Okay. That's fine. Pray. Whatever increases hope, I guess. Okay, new automation has been built, so, or automaton has been built. So we're going to go ahead and make all of our coal run entirely on automatons. We get more coal that way, and we don't have to worry as much about running out. Generator safety bypass is covered. And so, now we can just work on integrations in order to make our automations more efficient, which should help drive us all the way through the rest of our thing. How much longer do we have until... we basically two days. Okay, cool. Oh, we should be more than fine at that point. I think we've covered basically everything that we need.
Return your tools.
It is essentially impossible to fail now. Oh. Okay, yes, these guys made it home to the city. So now we're going to go to the beacon, and we are going to go ahead and disband the scouts. And... okay. That's it as far as that goes. So yeah, at this point we're just driving it home. Why are people panicking? We're doing so well.
Brace yourselves. Coal is coming.
Oh no, everyone's panicking. It's getting colder. Oh no, hope is low, that's not good. It's really low. That was a major miscalculation. Shoot. Alright. Come on, hurry up, buddy, we gotta get you home. Perfect. Explore, bring them to the city, and sucks for everyone else. That's 17 hours there. Tilly's home. We can disband. Okay, we're gonna be good. Just barely gonna make it, but we're gonna make it. Alright, so we basically have this thing set up to where we're going to have an automated system going. We'll have more than plenty of rations. We're good on wood. We're good on everything, really. The only thing I could think of that could possibly additionally need to be done is maybe we could set up a charcoal thing, but even that doesn't even seem necessary. We're already netting way more than we actually need, and even when we push things into overdrive, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. So, the frost is just right here. We're going to go ahead and start removing workers from certain areas so that way we don't have them die. Not that it really matters at this point. Okay. Now we can disband in the scouts. We are set. Let's run through this thing. So at this point, all we're going to do is we're just going to monitor the temperature levels of all of the houses. And if they get to be too cold, which usually happens on like the third day or whatever, we are going to go ahead and see if there's anything else as far as insulation or anything else in there. Healthcare insulation. If it gets to be too cold, then we'll go ahead and push things into overdrive, but we can only do that for so long, because otherwise the generator explodes and then we lose way worse. So it seems that, as generally predicted, or as I should have predicted, the Londoners did not come back. But at least we sent them off with a little mercy gift.
Work day is up. Return your tools.
It's the last time anyone's gonna go out. Let's make a couple of resource departments. I know it. We'll set this one up for coal. And set this one up for food rations. Alright. Now we are going to get to removing people from work wherever they are not absolutely necessary. All of our coals are driven entirely off of automatons, and the Great Gold has officially gone. Cool. So, we have all our preparations set up. Hunting is officially done. It's on and off.
No time to wait. We've got work to do.
Well, that's a bunkhouse. That's not an actual house. Shoot. I didn't realize I still had some of these. Oh, what a bad time to have to do this. I'm gonna get so many sick people. Go, people! Build fast! Quickly, 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 quickly. Okay. Looks like we already had plenty of houses. So yeah. Alright. So at a fairly moderate level at the moment. And as you can see, we're not even coming close to running out of coal. We can't cook anything. We can't really do anything at all until the storm passes, which is going to take... What's this? Oh, no, we don't want these guys out here. No. No, 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 no. It's just not nice. I'm out there working in the freezing cold. The hope is low. I don't know what to do to boost hope. How low it was. Just send some volunteers into the mines, they'll take care of it. That boosted hope, that's good. That's kind of what I was looking for. Well, looks like a guy who needs a prosthetic. Just gotta keep those coal mines running, man. Hope's going up, discontent is at an all-time low. We're gonna make it through this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Everything just got a lot colder. The houses aren't even cutting it anymore. We're gonna make sure that all of our healthcare facilities are functioning and have the proper amount of heat. So, yeah, if it needs a heater, it's gonna get a heater. sick all at once. Well, I guess this is where we start pushing the limits of the overdrive. Alright, we just gotta keep an eye on that level. Everything else is just gonna run kind of on its own. So this is when I should have started it. Yeah, there's a lot of decrease in hope after that a little bit, but I think we'll be fine. Hey, if you want to stay home, that's fine, dude. Don't have to worry about you getting sick. Take the overdrive off for just a little bit. It's all a balancing act, man. That's what it is at this point. To stay home, that's fine. Like, things being as cold as it's supposed to be right now in this big apocalyptic winter, I don't blame you. This is what we're prepared for. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there's a guy who loves to go get his parent, or his daughter. Maybe the Londoners come back too. Nah, he probably died. I feel like he was on her. We got? No, it doesn't say. Probably 3 or 4. Everyone can stay home, I really don't care. Has completely stopped, and the temperature just got a lot worse, so this is where we're gonna have to turn the overdrive on and hope it doesn't blow up. And even that's probably not gonna do a whole lot. Yeah. Even with the overdrive on and we're at max, I think these are still really cool houses, so that's up for the best. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what our little ending says about how we did, and that'll conclude the stream. Which, wow, I did not realize how exhausting doing a stream was. I did know how long this game would take to play though, honestly. Alright, we have survived. Let's see how we were rated this time around. It also does a playback of exactly how your development went. You started as a small society. Some refugees, 80 people. No food. Yeah, 100 food, what are you talking about? Old habits. And sickness hit us. Amputations were better than death. Didn't stop that one guy though. And every day was a struggle. So we adapted. Watchful guards, work oversight, warning gatherings, masses of sick. Yeah, there was a ton of sick people. That's the roughest part. Yet I think we haven't crossed the line. See, if you go completely off the terrain with either religion or the thing it'll say, do we cross line? Do we go too far? Kind of dealio. That's exactly why I don't like using